All right, hello friends. We are going to work on some jewelry this week. So I wanted to show you some stuff that my wife likes that I've gotten for her. And she always likes handmade jewelry. These are stuff that doesn't come from a factory or a big fancy store, but something that somebody took the time to make themselves. Um, this one, of course, is one that Lucy made for her. It says which I think is Lucy for I love you, Mom, because it was a few years ago. And let me see. These are some earrings that she found. I think she buy nothinged these, which there's a group where people give away stuff they're not using anymore. And we've talked about it. We might take out this kind of pink peachy thing and just leave just the rose shape. We think that might be cool. If you look on, yeah, there's where the break is. See, I'm going to be able to take some small pliers and pinch that apart to remove the plastic, just to make it fit her style more. Obviously, don't do that unless your parents approve. This is an amethyst. It's a purple gemstone, and it is my daughter's birthstone. I'm not sure where we got this one. I can't remember now, but it's got different little gemstones. I think the bottom one's agate. I don't know all of them. And it's just a real simple stack of crystals, and she liked that a lot. This, again, I don't know where this one came from, but it's a fairly simple little metal amulet with some children, and it looks like a mother figure. And it has a kind of cable or a cord for the loop. It's not a metal chain, which is kind of cool. This one has honestly just like little tiny scrap pieces of lapis lazuli. So the artist that made this one probably didn't have to do too much in terms of like buying expensive things. It's got a little bit of gold foil and then some kind of epoxy over the top of it to fill it in. It's very simple. It's very pretty. You can see through it. And that's all that went into that one. And this is one of my wife's favorite ones. It's also got this interesting, almost moon shape loop at the bottom. And again, a real simple chain. A little bit of a tarnish situation. Now, the reason why I wanted to show you those is because we are going to learn how to make jewelry out of paper. So you don't have to have a super high expensive jewelry studio in order to make jewelry. Well, this is one, it's still a little wet, so parts are still kind of flopping up. This is one that I made out of paper beads, and this is what I'm going to show you how to make. And you can use this with any newspaper. Well, you want something with some color, so maybe not just a plain newspaper, but the circulars inside, or magazines that I have around. Now, for extended information on how to make these, if you're in my class and you go to the It's Learning page, you will find the link to a Spruce Crafts page where I got the idea for this. Now, these paper beads are kind of interesting. They first came out, it was saying during the Victorian era, so late 1800s, early 1900s, and women would get together and make them out of newspaper, or wallpaper, but now people use them to make all kinds of things, mostly jewelry, but you can also make bags or keychains, anything like that out of these. So, oh, the wire is a piece of ground wire that I have from some electrical work I did. You will probably be happier if you go to Michael's or Walmart or somewhere and you buy a little jewelry making kit, because it'll have some wires that have clasps. Before I would give this to anybody, I would definitely get a clasp so that they don't have the risk of this metal wire poking them. And also this may tarnish. And this is one that I made using a pipe cleaner and some different colors. This one doesn't have the final varnish on it yet. But I think this is the one I'm going to show you first. And this one's kind of nice because it doesn't have to come off of the piece of material that you start making them around. So let's put these aside, scoop those up. Hopefully don't tangle them. So here we go. Let's see. I got this old magazine here. I'm looking for a page. All right, good. I'm looking for one that's got some color to it. Let's see what Miss Sheryl Crow is going to be transformed into artwork. So you're going to take your scissors and you want to cut a skinny triangle. Actually, I'll just go ahead and tear this page out. That could work too. It's got some strong blue there, but I'll just stick with what I got. Now you want to cut long, skinny triangles. It's fine for there to be words in there, but you do want some color just to make it interesting. So take your time. Y'all hear my dog flipping out. Look at that long, skinny triangle. Some people might even say, "Are you sure that's a triangle?" Yes, it is. It's just long and skinny. I think I'm gonna change the angle of that just a little bit. It'll just make it a little nicer. And I'm gonna do another triangle going the other way, just because it's the most efficient use of my paper. All right, let's get back into it. So I'm gonna cut some more skinny triangles. And I like to just kind of trim the top a little bit. Just so it looks like it's sticking straight out. There we go. It's honestly pretty forgiving. I'm being too particular, but sometimes that's how you are. That looks good. Good. Most likely. But I'll use them for both the wire version and this one. Okay, so for the easier one, which can still be pretty effective, it just depends what materials you have. I'm gonna put this on here and I'm just gonna pinch it and I'm gonna wrap it. Oh, it tore on me a little bit. Wrap it, wrap it. Wrap it. I gotta get past my tear. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna use my glue stick. Stick it out just a little bit. Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. And you'll need some background paper like I've got here, because you are gonna wanna put glue that goes all the way to the edge. Like that. So I'm gonna pick it up. And I'm gonna keep just wrapping it around and wrapping it around. And keep wrapping it around. And soon I will have a nice, neat blue and red and put some more, especially at the very end. You definitely want to make sure you have plenty at the end. Blue and red bead. Twist, 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 twist. Oh, a little strand. Here we go. Look at that. Okay, there's my first bead. Let's do another one so you guys kind of see how to go. Again, just wrap it. Wrap it, wrap it, wrap it, wrap it, wrap it. And I'm just doing little pinchy rolls. You may need to get a parent to help you get these started, but this is, and I want to talk to parents for a second here. This kind of little fine motor control is super good for your kids. So let them struggle for a little bit. It's not too bad. Just work hard for things. All right, now I'm gonna put some more on here. Get the glue off the sides, because I don't want to waste it. Make it stick out just a little bit more. There we go. And this one starts purple, but it turns white or clear as it dries, which is pretty convenient. Wrap that up, wrap that up. Gotta wrap it up. This one's got a nice red hue to the center of it. I like that. And I like that I can still see the little bit of the letters peeking out. Oh, that one's good. Cool. And you just do that for a few more times until you have all of your beads covered. Feed them back onto here. And you're all done. And you would do all of them, and then you push it across, make it fold down so that it's latched on. You can give it a little twist if you want, and then give it to somebody special. So that's one way to do it. Now the other way that you can do it, and this is how I was able to make this one, which you can see is a little bit cleaner and a little bit neater. And they already have the glue on there, it's already drying, that's nice. What I did for that is I took this weird Q-tip thing that I had lying around the house. You could use a bamboo skewer or actual toothpicks, anything that's kind of a small round piece of wood like that. Maybe a piece of wire, I guess. And then you wrap it around here. Now because this is smaller and it is more rigid, it actually is in some ways a little bit easier, but a little bit more finicky in other respects because you're gonna have a smaller hole. So you notice I didn't put any glue on at the beginning, I just started wrapping it. I'm gonna keep it tight. The tighter it is, the better it's gonna look. Not a bad thing to have an extra pair of hands if you have a friend or family who could be there for you and to help you with that glue. This is a thing that the Victorian folk would do as a group, actually. Everyone would get together and make paper beads, because then they would use them to make, they would make a lot of them sometimes, and use them to make dividers between rooms, like curtains. Heard of people making bags out of these. All kinds of things. And I always put a little extra glue on the end because that's the part that tends to want to fold out. And it's also a very good idea as you get to the end to just hold it for a moment and let that glue set. Now these do have a problem. They are just paper. And you know what happens when paper gets wet, right? Does not last. So what you can do is you can put a protective coat on the outside. Couple of ways to do this. There's a chemical called, or a product called Mod Podge, which is probably the best. Oop, not broken. And it's not expensive. You can get that pretty much anywhere. I also have this matte medium, which is from for acrylic painting. But the easiest and thing you most likely have is school glue and a little bit of water using a brush. This is easy, it's strong, it'll work great. The only downside is it is washable. That means if it gets wet, it could still dissolve and not protect your beads. So you just gotta base it on what you want to protect them from and what you have around your house. I guess I'll put it on this. So if you're doing them on these, I would go ahead and push them kind of close together so they have a place to bend, because you're going to get some glue on the pipe cleaner, and that's okay. And just brush it very lightly. You don't want to go crazy on this. You don't want it to drip or make big puddles. It's just like any other glue situation. A dot is a lot. And it's going to look shiny. And then you'll need to hang it on something so that it can dry. I'm going to hang it on this little bolt right here. So what that looks like on this one, this is actually the second layer. So these are going to be good strong beads. The stuff that it talks about using in the spruce craft video or web page that I've got a link to is some kind of preserver for wood that is starting to rot. It's like called Petrify PC or something like that. I've never used that before, so I can't speak to it, but apparently it makes it super strong. And you can get stuff to make these essentially watertight. That's going to make it shiny and strong. Almost, but not quite like paper mache. Now this is working because I have a wire through the middle of it. And the glue is not really going to stick to the wire because glue likes to be able to soak, this kind of glue anyway, likes to be able to soak into porous materials or things that have teeny tiny invisible holes in them, like paper. That's why it peels off your hands, because your hands aren't porous enough. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, and that is how you make beads out of paper. And these can come right off of this wire, and then I could get some jeweler's wire and really make some nice presents. So that's what we got. Y'all have a great day. Send me messages, post your finished work on Flipgrid, and have great holidays or breaks or however you do your thing. Bye.